Hi, this is Barry Enerson from the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room. It is Thursday, June the 4th. This is the address to get into our room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. All right, well, today was this is going to be a pretty quick video. This is one of those days where I only had two trades. I mean, nothing really good, to be honest with you. Missed a couple of the 30-minute opening range breaks. Wasn't quick enough to get them. A little too spready and all. But other than that, I mean, first of all, most of my strategies are long strategies. When the market is down and doesn't really want to bounce very much, it's very difficult to go long and commit to anything. And nothing really would have worked. So I mean, I don't mind. I mean, a day like today, I mean, I look at it as one of those days in which, okay, you just sort of sit in your hands for most of the day. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to take trades just because you're bored. I used to do that a lot. A lot. I mean, I used to do it. Like, it's just human nature. You're sitting, maybe that's pretty good, and I'll try to take it, and it's marginal, and you get stopped out for a little loss, and you do another one and another one. And at the end of the day, all of a sudden, you see a bunch of little losses turning into not a very good day, and there's really no reason for it. So anyway, I'm just rambling on here a little bit. So Jivo was the first trade, and it came from the opening 30-minute break. And this is what I really wanted to concentrate on today. And it came at right at 10 o'clock, right at the open or the break at 30 minutes, and the price was $3.99. And I ended up taking the trade right here at 403, and I exited at 412. I said in the room that I was going to look to take some out almost immediately because I just didn't trust the market with it being down as much. Even though a stock like this sometimes does not follow the overall market, but you can see what it did for the rest of the day. Really nothing. And so got out of that one pretty quickly. The next one, kind of interesting actually, and this is GES. And to be honest, I guess it would have worked. And let me just show you this one. I call this a present for the room. I posted this one in the trading room yesterday. And if you want this, you can email me at the info at trade-ideas.com. Only one alert today. I don't count this one. I've actually eliminated JDST JDST is a ETF, and I've eliminated it. By the way, if you don't know how to eliminate things like that, you just go to the configure and you go to the exchanges and you get rid of the NY SC ARCA. I don't want to do that because if I do, I'm going to wipe. But that's what you do. You say okay, and then you shouldn't get. You're going to eliminate most of the ETFs. But I'm going to cancel because if I do that, I'm going to lose my guess right here. But just want to show you something here that. The alert came in at 1946. I'm going to go over this column just briefly, a little, well, not briefly, maybe in a little more detail. Maybe this is how I'll fill up most of this video. This is a very interesting column that they have come up with. When I say they, Dan and Brad from Trade Ideas, it's basically showing you where your stop could be on the stock, how far away from the buy price your stop could be for the price. Now, since this formula came in, it has changed. My guess is that this will not be quite as large. And yesterday they came up with this. They gave it to us, put it in, but in the middle of the day they came up with a variation of it. And my guess is that this would probably be slightly smaller. However, let's take a look at what happened. 1946 was the alert. So I took the trade right here at 1947. But as I'm wont to do, I like to have fairly tight stops. So I exited this at 1937. Instead of letting it go down to 38 would have been, 1908. Now, that would have been way too much for me, to be honest with you. But I guess they were looking down on this level. But it'll be interesting for me to run this again with the new stop in place. And anyway, the bottom line though is, had I waited for that stop, just said, okay, I'm going to wait for it. Take fewer shares, take 100 shares and, with a $38 risk, 200 shares with a $76 risk, whatever your risk amount is. Had I waited for that, I would have been, marginally profitable. I mean, from 1947 up to 1971, holding on through this pullback, and it's still up at 1980. So on a day, a horrible day, I mean, the market is down 162. This one kind of worked. And so again, if you want this particular strategy, you can just email at info at trade-ideas.com. Now, let me try to go over. Now, I'm going to do this. Hopefully, this is going to work because I'm trying to do this for the first time in a presentation like this. I just want to show you how they came up with this and how you can add this as a column. Now, eventually, we will be able to put this as an odds maker stop. We can't do it right now. So if you're familiar with the odds maker, you know that you have a way in which you can put a stop in, but your stop is quite frankly, I mean, you're kind of guessing. You can say, well, I'll stop out after $1 and see how the strategy works, or 50 cents to see how the strategy works. So let me just, first of all, see if I can bring this up. And I want to go to my filter codes. Wrong one. I want to go to my formula editor. All right, so in case you don't know how to add a custom filter, a filter like I'm going to show you, you have to go to this page here, and it's on the home page. You go to tradeIdeas.com, find account management. If you can even copy down this link and later and get to the formula editor here. And I'm just going to scroll down to it, and just got to find it. It's actually it's called U8. Just here we go, U8. So here it is. Now, don't worry about what this means. I mean, it looks complicated, and it's not really. I mean, you can break it apart and you can see what it's doing. But what you will do is when you go to the formula editor, and then at the bottom of that page that I showed you, there'll be a create new. And in the source box, you literally type this in. So I'll pause here for a little bit. Has to be, and again, if you miss this, I can copy and paste it for you, and because this has to be exact, and you put this in the source box. I gave it a name because you can search on this now, custom stop amount. That's what I gave it. You don't have to worry about units. You can put dollars in if you want. In fact, maybe I'll do that right now, but it's not mandatory. And then you save it, and now you're going to see that if I go. Let me just do something like this, and I'm going to go to configure. Just take any window at all, and now I'm going to do a search. Remember what I called it, custom. So here it is. Here's the custom stop amount, and so now you can add this. You can go to show column. I may already have this in here. Let me just see if I have it already in here. Yeah, I already have it in here. But if I hadn't, it would have been over here, and I could have just moved it with this right arrow over to the to this top list, over to this specific top list, and so you can see that it is right there, U8. So what this means is that if I had taken the trade at 14.55, that I could have put my stop at 25 cents. RRX at 0.05. In fact, this is great because I'm in this. I took this at 309. I actually mentioned in the room that I was looking maybe to swing this, and I took this at 309. So we'll have to see what happens. And with a 5 cent stop, now as a swing trade, it'll be a lot longer, or it'll be a wider stop for me. But the point is this: is that this is it's very interesting what they've come up with, in that now you have a column. So if you get into a trade, you can take a look at the chart to figure out what your stop is, or you can use this. But I think what the real true value of this will be is when we can actually do an odds maker, when we test a strategy using the odds maker and using this as the stop, and then we are going to see how effective that is. You can see putting a stop in at say $1. and run the strategy, but then put the stop in according to what this column is showing us, and seeing how that will affect the results. So it's very exciting what they've done, and it's already we've had two. Well, we've had yesterday afternoon Dan gave it to us, and then sometime this morning. In the trading room, he gave us an updated version. And so I have a feeling that they'll keep working on it to try to really fine tune it because, here's the thing. It's very easy to get into a trade. It's very hard to get out of a trade. A lot of people have a tough time. Where's my stop? Oh boy, do I add to it? Now, first of all, I mean, this is going into more of a trading discussion. I never add to a losing trade. I mean, that's my number one rule. But, a lot of people have a tough time knowing where to put their stop. Now, I mean, I look at the chart a lot of times. Not a lot of times. I always look at the chart to see where I think my stop should be. But this could maybe take the guesswork out. And if I can start trusting in this, wow, I mean, it takes a lot of the emotional guesswork out. So now, assuming that I'm using a strategy that I like and that is proven, I'm going to have some losing trades. There's no question about it. But if I know where my stop is and get out, well, so be it. Move on to the next one. So anyway, that's it for right now. I want to tell you that. Let's see. Just want to move this over back to my off the screen. So again, if you want, I can copy and paste this to you. I don't know how clear this is coming on the screen for you, but this is exactly what you'll just copy and paste into the source box, and then it will be added as just like a normal filter. And there's another way you can use it too. For instance, I could do something like this. Now I'm not going to do it, but let's just say I go now to my Windows-specific filters that I've got, and I go down to, just got to find it. Just one second. Okay, so here, you see here are the filters. These are just the standard filters that come with the Trade Ideas package. So here's where I've added this custom filter. So for instance, what if I only wanted to see stocks that this calculation is telling me what the stop should be? So let's just, for argument's sake, say I only want to look at stocks with a maximum stop of 20 cents. I feel comfortable looking at stocks with a maximum stop of 20 cents. So in theory, I could put 20 cents in here and then have my other filters with volume and everything else, but only look then at stocks with a maximum stop of 20 cents. I mean, some people, look, I mean, I know some people don't want to have stops of $1 or $2. I mean, those are more for swing trading to be sure, but this would be a way in order to do something like that. Now, this is all experimental for me too. I mean, I'm going to have to play around with it, but it opens up a lot of different ways in which we can use stops, and if we can take the emotions out of it, it'd be fantastic. So anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully you got something out of this. Again, if you let me just bring back the cover page. Here's the address. If you want that, a room, a trade for or a present for the room. That's what I called it. And also can copy and paste that strategy or the actual the filter settings. I can copy and paste that and send them to you also. So here again is how to get into a room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.